Samsung's next smartwatches are already stirring up a lot of debate because a fresh leak just hinted at a major change in strategy for the Galaxy Watch 9 and the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2. And if it's true, Samsung may finally be doing what a lot of fans have been asking for, creating a real meaningful performance gap between the standard Galaxy Watch and the Ultra. Now, before we get carried away, keep in mind this is still leak territory. No official launch date, no confirmed. Specs from Samsung. But the details popping up right now are specific enough to be worth talking about, especially if you're planning to upgrade your smartwatch this summer. According to the current rumors, Samsung is expected to unveil the Galaxy Watch 9 and the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 sometime this summer, potentially alongside the Galaxy Z Fold 8. That pairing makes sense because Samsung loves doing big ecosystem launches together. Phone, watch, earbuds, the whole package. But here's the thing. Until now, not much has been known about these wearables. That's where this new leak comes in, and it focuses on the one part of a smartwatch that can make or break the experience: the processor. At MWC, Qualcomm introduced a brand new wearable chip called the Snapdragon Wear Elite, and Qualcomm is positioning it as the first personal AI-focused wearable platform. That's a big claim, and it immediately raises one question: will Samsung use it? This leak says yes, at least for the Ultra. The report, shared by leaker Jason C. on X, suggests Samsung is testing the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 with the Snapdragon Wear Elite, while the standard Galaxy Watch 9 sticks with Samsung's own Exynos chip, likely the Exynos W1000. And if that's accurate, it's a pretty big deal, because it would mean Samsung is intentionally splitting the lineup into two distinct performance tiers: a premium Ultra model with Qualcomm's newest AI-focused chip, and a standard model that continues on Exynos. So why does this matter, and why are people paying attention to this leak? Because for the last few generations, a lot of smartwatch buyers have felt like Ultra models sometimes don't separate themselves enough from the regular versions. Sure, you might get a tougher build, maybe better battery, maybe a unique feature here or there, but if the performance feels the same, it becomes harder to justify paying the Ultra price. A dual-chip strategy fixes that immediately. Let's break down what each chip could mean in real-world use. First, the Snapdragon Wear Elite. Qualcomm is making a big push around on-device AI with this platform, including the Hexagon NPU, basically a dedicated engine for AI tasks that can run directly on the watch. And that's important because smartwatch AI features only make sense if they're fast, efficient, and don't drain your battery in an hour. If Samsung puts Snapdragon Wear Elite inside the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2, it could unlock a few major improvements. Faster, AI-assisted health insights, more responsive voice features, smarter workout detection, and potentially better efficiency when running advanced features without relying on your phone. In other words, instead of your watch sending everything to the cloud or constantly leaning on your phone, more of that smart processing could happen on your wrist, instantly. And if Samsung pairs that with an upgraded sensor stack, this could be the first Galaxy Watch where the AI marketing actually feels real in daily use. Now let's talk about the other side of the leak. The Galaxy Watch 9 using Exynos. The leaker called it Exynos W10, but most people believe that's just a shorthand or a naming mix-up, and what they really mean is the Exynos W1000, the same wearable SoC found in the original Galaxy Watch, Ultra and the Galaxy Watch 8 series. And to be clear, that's not bad news. The Exynos W1000 has a strong reputation for smartwatch performance, and in some comparisons it's been seen outperforming Qualcomm's Snapdragon W5 Plus Gen 2. So, the Galaxy Watch 9 sticking with Exynos W1000 could still be a smooth, powerful Wear OS experience, fast app loading, reliable UI performance, and solid health tracking. But here's the key point. If the Ultra 2 jumps to Snapdragon Wear Elite, then the standard Watch 9 isn't being downgraded. It's just being positioned differently. That creates a cleaner lineup. Galaxy Watch 9, reliable performance, great daily smartwatch experience, likely better value. Galaxy Watch Ultra, top-tier performance, premium pricing, AI-forward features, best-in-class hardware, and honestly, that's how it should be. Now, the big question, How much faster is Snapdragon Wear Elite compared to Exynos W1000? We don't have real-world comparisons yet, at least not inside Samsung hardware. And that matters because performance isn't just about the chip name. It's also about software optimization, thermal limits, battery size, and how aggressively. Samsung tunes the watch for performance versus battery life. But the idea of pitting Samsung's best Exynos wearable chip against Qualcomm's newest AI-focused wearable chip is genuinely exciting. If the Ultra 2 gets Snapdragon Wear Elite, it might become the first Galaxy Watch in a while that clearly competes at the absolute top of the smartwatch market, especially in the premium category. There's also a bigger story here about Samsung's strategy. Samsung has used Exynos in a lot of Galaxy Watches, and in many markets, Samsung loves controlling the full stack, hardware, software, optimization. But when Samsung wants to push a product into a more premium Ultra space, using Qualcomm can be a shortcut to better platform features, better AI acceleration, and potentially better long-term support. So if this leak is accurate, it could signal that Samsung is serious about making the Ultra lineup feel more like a true flagship, separate, special, and clearly superior. Now, we should also talk about what's confirmed versus what's not. Right now, this is still speculation-based, on leak claims. Samsung hasn't confirmed any of it. The only other information tied to these watches that has surfaced is model numbers. Galaxy Watch 9 is rumored as SML345, and Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 is rumored as SML7116s. Model numbers alone don't confirm chipsets, but they do suggest that hardware is moving through internal tracking and development pipelines, which lines up with a summer launch. So here's where things stand. If Samsung really does launch the Galaxy Watch 9 with Exynos W1000 and the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 with Snapdragon Wear Elite, then we could be looking at one of Samsung's smartest wearable moves in years, because it finally gives buyers a clear reason to choose one model over the other beyond just design and durability. But the real test will be what Samsung does with it. Will Ultra 2's AI features actually be useful? Will battery life improve or take a hit? Will performance feel noticeably faster in day-to-day use? And will Samsung keep the Watch 9 priced aggressively enough to make it the obvious value pick? Now I want to know what you think. If the Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 really gets Snapdragon Wear Elite, would that be enough to push you toward the Ultra? Or would you rather save the money and stick with the Galaxy Watch 9, assuming it keeps the Exynos 1000 and delivers a smooth Wear OS experience? Drop your thoughts below and stay tuned, because as we get closer to Samsung's summer event, the Galaxy Watch 9 and Galaxy Watch Ultra 2 leaks are only going to get more interesting.